Yep. So that's the way to do it. And that's the way to scale there is you get, one or two core crews, you have standardized pricing,
Yep.
you know how long everything takes, it's going to cost. So you can just stamp that out and there's, you can just put that thing on auto. I could do 20 deals a year, structured like that. It really doesn't take that much work. If you're not a realtor, then you get a realtor and they do all the real estate side for you and you don't have to do anything. I mean, you're supplying money basically is what you're doing. So that is very scalable. So I say for you, if you've got that system in place, I would double down and scale that to create as much cash as you can right now to invest in those other assets as you go along. Because I know it's competitive right now, but like those little deals that you're finding, you'll get into bigger deals as you go along. And I think over the next 3 to 5 years, some of these, syndications we're seeing are going to blow up, and there'll be, really good opportunities to step in and take some of those over.
Yeah.
Those are businesses that can be assumed.
Right.
So that's what's going to be really cool about these multifamily storage facilities, things like that. 3, 4, 5 years from now, when some of these people don't have a lot of experience, have over leveraged, missed estimated, on their things, and then did short term debt.
Right.
There'll be some real opportunities to step in and take some of those over. Well, it is, because there are wholesalers out there that are kind of, messing up the valuations. So the key is to be a clearinghouse for the wholesaler. So, you want to be the guy that the wholesalers come to, and you just tell them, hey, here's what I can pay.
Yeah.
This is the way the deal is going to work, and try to educate them in advance.
Yeah.
So say, hey, wholesalers, you guys are spending a lot of money in your marketing. Here's where these deals need to be to work. So you need to reverse engineer that through the wholesalers, be their clearinghouse, say, look, I can buy all the deals you have, but you got to get them at this price. And if you come across a deal before you get it under contract, give me a call.
Yeah.
So you want to help them, coach them how to find deals for you. You'll be much more effective that way than you will trying to compete with them.
Right.
Now, you're a realtor, so you can get the listing as well, and you've got that whole side. So there is an advantage to you, competing on that level as well. And a lot of the wholesalers, you can, pay them a marketing fee for leads if you get a listing or something on the real estate side.
Right.
Didn't say pay commission. I said marketing fee.
Marketing fee, yeah.
Sell leads, a lead fee. So you can do that. So there's a couple of ways you can work that angle. But for me, that's what I do. I buy from wholesalers. I coach them. I tell them where it needs to be, how to negotiate the deal, as opposed to me, mailing or doing, things like that. Mailing works. I know a lot of people. I've got some of the top wholesalers in the country that I coach that are, they're doing 200-300 deals a year. And they're still having a lot of success with direct mail, but they're still mailing out, $50,000 a month worth of direct to get that kind of volume. Yeah. So you got to have a machine in place. Online is very effective right now. Internet, SEO, and pay-per-click is still very effective because those are people that are seeking out help. And with you being on the real estate side, a lot of those deals are retail. Yeah. But you can take advantage of that. So there are still ways that you can effectively market and have a competitive advantage. But man, wholesalers are a great resource. Cool. So I'll give you 2 little secrets today, and here's your little marketing hook, right? The 2 things you need to know to get more deals, right? So there are no secrets. We all know that. There's nothing new under the sun. So there are still MLS deals if you use this strategy. So with MLS, you want to look for deals that have been on the market longer than the average days on the market by 50 to 60 days minimum. That are vacant and have had price reductions. So you should be combing the MLS, looking for vacant properties that have been on the market 30 plus days longer than average days on market and have had some price reductions. And you just go in and you make offers, wherever you feel like you need to be on those. And that can be outsourced. So you can have an assistant or somebody looking for that and firing those offers off, because you got to make a lot of them. But you'll get 1 in 10, with that strategy. A lot of people just give up on MLS. The other thing for MLS is expireds. So a lot of people go after expireds for relistings. You could go after those as a cash buyer. As a realtor, hey, Mr. Jones, hey, we can relist your property. You know what you've already been through, or we can pay you cash and I can give you X, but I'm an investor. Fix them up and flip them just like you see on HGTV. I can pay you 100. If you list it, you might get 125, but we don't know how long that's going to take. Right. Whatever the number is. So those 2 strategies with MLS are still working and are still very effective, to find deals. A lot of people just ignoring these days. And I'll tell you another one that give up on. And this just happened to me. I'm coaching somebody through a deal right now. It's her first deal, and it was a complete gut rehab. And this was in foreclosure. It was advertised in the paper. So a lot of people, I've never bought a property from the auction, and I don't go to auctions, which is a great place to meet cash buyers and that kind of thing. Yeah. What I do look for is the foreclosure listings, and I'll call them and try to buy them before they go to foreclosure.
Yeah.
And that's what they did was they bought this house. They found it. I helped them track down the owner, and they bought the house the day before it went to the courthouse steps. And they got it $100,000 under market because it needed a complete gut rehab. So a lot of people aren't paying attention to foreclosures, and they're not going after the owners and making offers to the owners and saying, look, we can buy this thing, doesn't have to go through foreclosure, and save you a lot of headache. Some owners don't care, but again, if you get 1 out of 10, doesn't that's something that you can outsource to an assistant, and it's a whole different strategy to foreclosures. You don't want to go to the courthouse steps. You want to buy them before they go into foreclosure.
Yeah.
Or before they get sold at auction.
Right. Yeah,
I was trustee, because they're going to tell you, we're not going to do anything. You got to call the owner. And for me, cold calling has always been the most effective, especially in a foreclosure situation. You've got a license, and so do I. So it's really easy, and you can disarm them. The best cold calling script out there is, hey, this is Brandon. I'm calling about your house. I know it's going into foreclosure. I'm a realtor as well as an investor, so that kind of disarms them, right away. I'm a realtor as well as an investor, and just wanted to see if there was an opportunity to help you here. I buy houses, fix them up, and sell them just like you see on HGTV.
Yeah.
That line right there is huge at disarming people on a cold call, because then they're like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Versus, the wholesalers that are trying to sneak and trick, and there's a lot of guys out there that are very elusive in their conversation. I work with a group of investors, and we want to buy one more house in the neighborhood. Right. People are seeing that from 20 different people, so they're very, guarded when you call. So you use that script. We buy them, fix them up, and sell them just like you see on HGTV. That kind of brings them down. And I've never had anybody ever get upset with me when I tell them I'm an investor, and like you see on HGTV, I have to buy it at a price so that I can fix it up and make a profit. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So here's what I can pay as an investor. As a realtor, here's what you can get. It can be listed on the market. I don't do that, but I have great realtors that I can refer you to if you want to go that route. But look, you got a foreclosure coming in 5 days. I can pay cash for this thing, take care of all these liens and judgments, help you wipe all that out, where you can come out of this thing, without having to worry about them coming back after you, which they probably aren't going to do, depending on your financial situation, but they can.
Yeah.
So that's the conversation script, that I use when I'm talking to people going into foreclosure, and it works with commercial as well as it does residential. That same stuff works, over and over. But the problem with mail is, everybody's getting the same thing. Now, I saw something yesterday. I checked my mailbox. I was like, man, that's great. So there was a piece of direct mail in there. It was a full-size 8.5 by 11 postcard material, but it looked like a proposal, like a handwritten, proposal.
Yeah.
And it was Pella windows, and they were advertising, the special that they're offering for windows. And I'm like, man, that's a great direct mail piece. It's 8.5 by 11. I looked at it when everything else went in the trash. I didn't even look at anything else that was junk. Yeah. But this, I looked at it and read it just because it was so neat and different. So if you're going to send direct mail, send something big like that people see, because you're different. You'll stand out. You've got, however you want to do it, your face, it's personal. We buy houses and fix them up and sell them just like HGTV. Use that line on there so it disarms people, and they're more trusting than that final notice and third notice and want to buy one more, all that stuff. Yeah. And it's right there. They don't have to open it. That was really cool. I thought that was a neat little marketing piece. I had some friends that, so I used to do that back in the day, and what I would do is put a copy of the earnest money check in there with it. So they could see, or the cash check to purchase the house cash.
Yeah.
So they could see there's a copy of a check.
Yeah.
So I used to include that in it, but I had some friends that do the wholesale land thing where you go, 25 miles outside of a major metro area, 25-mile radius, and you farm all the worthless land out in that area below whatever on the tax value. Yeah. That's what they would do. They would send out 10,000 pieces a month or 10,000 contracts a month to these landowners. Yeah. They didn't do any marketing mail. They would send contract. I wouldn't call them. They would say, I'll buy your land. Here's my price. All they had to do is sign it and send it back. Yeah. Well, the biggest way right now is to get to the wholesalers that are out there doing it, that you can reason with and talk to, and get them working for you, not coming to you after the fact. That's really the fast ball in a lot of bigger markets like yours, because everybody's a wholesaler in Dallas now. And I mean, if they're not, they will be tomorrow, right?
Right, it's crazy.
Yeah. So you got to get to those people and help them, so that they can help you. Right. And you can hold events, do regular events and try to find all the wholesalers in your area and say, hey, I'm a cash buyer. Let me come to this. Let me show you how to buy these houses so we can work together. So that's a great way to do and train wholesalers in your area. If I had 6 months to live, I would, try to help as many people as I possibly could in that time, give back as much as I possibly could, give away all my money, everything.
Yeah.
And, just try to leave the mark on this world as best as I possibly could, and
Right.
spend, as much time as I could with, the people that are the most important.